Alright guys, what's up? Today I just want to quickly go over the 4-star character Xing Qiu. I feel like he is severely underrated at the moment, when in fact he's one of the better 4-star characters out there. And actually he probably has the highest sustained DPS in the game. Now if we take a look at Xing Qiu's ultimate, each pair of swords he summons does 86.8% damage. And at higher level it goes up to roughly 100%. And he summons 45 pairs of sword respectively in total. At Constellation 6, the amounts increases to 60 pairs instead, so that is a 6k% damage scaling ultimate. Not to mention the 18 times you're going to be applying wet status on the enemies. So I'm going to be doing a DPS comparison of my Keqing versus my Xing Qiu to show you guys just how much damage Xing Qiu can actually bring to your team. Keep in mind, in the comparison I had them running the same artifacts and the same weapon. The only difference is in the talents really. My Keqing has everything at level 6, whereas my Xing Qiu, his auto attacks are not leveled at all. Okay, Keqing can definitely do it. So as you guys see, the DPS comparison between one of the top main DPS in the game and Xing Qiu is actually relatively similar. Do keep in mind, Xing Qiu was only at level 70 Ascension 4, whereas my Keqing was level 80 at Ascension 5. And also keep in mind, in this game, the higher level you are, the more damage you do to your enemy. So since my Xing Qiu's level is around 12, lower than the tree, I'm doing relatively lower damage compared to my level 80 Keqing. However, with all that being said guys, Xing Qiu's kit really doesn't complement a main DPS playstyle. He's much better at just casting his abilities and then swapping back to your Diluc or your Razor or whichever your main DPS is, and he's gonna bring a lot of side damage to your team. Okay, so by now I hope I've convinced you guys that Xing Qiu is more than just a support character. Like, a lot of people look at him as a shield breaker or a utility character that just gives you damage reduction, some healing, maybe flinch reduction as well, but he's definitely more than that. And in his kit, when you ascend him, he gains extra hydro damage bonus, he also gains extra attack percentages, so the game really wants you to build him offensively as well. As far as builds are concerned, here are some of the weapon choices I think are best suited for him. Coming at first choice, we have the 5-star weapon Skyward Blade. Now even though you can utilize a weapon's passive, the energy percent recharge substat as well as the high base attack of a 5-star weapon will end up slightly better than the Sacrificial Sword. For reference, every 1 base attack difference of a weapon equates to 33 base attack at level 90, so you can expect a total base attack difference of 165 between the Skyward Blade and the Sacrificial Sword. Now the Sacrificial Sword, not much to say about this one here. Everything the weapon offers just complements Xing Qiu so well. It nullifies his long E cooldown, helps him regenerate his energy, and is overall a 10 out of 10 slot-in for him. Favonius, pretty much a baby version of a Sacrificial Sword, but it's still a good option if you don't have the aforementioned weapons. From 4th spot and onwards, we pretty much only got DPS oriented swords, which I find to be worse off than the utility counterparts. However, they can still be solid choices overall. Iron Sting is arguably worse than the Black Sword due to the fact that crit stats are just much better than Element Mastery, but if you can refine the sword a couple times or still manage a solid critical rating, then the Iron Sting will be better. Battle Pass Sword. Its effects are useless on Xing Qiu, but the critical rating substats is just so hard to be overlooked. As for the Black Cliff Sword, it's pretty much the same as Battle Pass weapon, except it gives critical damage instead. The effects of the Black Cliff Sword can be utilized unlike the Battle Pass weapon, however it is still a relatively weak bonus, and the critical damage is less desirable than critical rating. Coming at last, we have the Flute. Honestly just a stat stick, there is nothing to it. Okay, now artifacts. Relatively straightforward, I think the Noblesse set is the best for Xing Qiu. As for Hourglass, you probably want to be running attack percentage or energy percentage, helmet, crit rate or crit damage, goblet, 100% hydro percent damage bonus. And that's about it for the video, guys. I hope you give Xing Qiu a chance if you have him, especially if he's Constellation 6, he's really strong. A couple reasons you might not want to invest in him, however, is if you already have Fischl, or if you already have a really strong support DPS character for your teams, then maybe you want to skip out on him. Some other reasons you might want to invest in him is definitely wait for Child maybe, because you know, like right now water element characters, they really struggle with energy recharge, but with Child in your team, that's going to help a lot. So yeah, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you find it helpful, make sure you leave a like. Thank you so much. Peace.